Hiya! It is time for my April reset. So we are actually a couple of days into April already, but there was, things going on the end of March. It was a bank holiday weekend, so I'm completely happy with my decision to take a couple extra days before recording this. But now we're here, and I'm really excited to go through how March went and my plans for April. So I've got my book journal as always, and I have completed it for the facts and figures for last month. So in March I actually read 9 books, which is actually the lowest number of books that I've read in a month since February 2022, I think it is, so quite a while, but absolutely no regrets. I enjoyed every book that I read. You'll see more on that when I get to my wrap up. And I was actually about 3/4 of the way through a book when I finished the month, so I've already finished a book in April anyway. And I'm very much looking for quality of reads over quantity. The only thing I will say, and I'll put the chart up here, but looking on Storygraph, my reading was so up and down in March. Like, I basically had days where I read and then days where I didn't. So that's one thing that I would change with it, is to just make it a bit more consistent. So that's in theory what I'm aiming for this month, although the first day of April was a bank holiday, so there was obviously quite a lot of reading that day, but it's definitely something to work towards. So obviously 9 books tracks me really nicely for my goal of reading 100 books in the year. It's still more than the 8.5 average that I would need per month, so I'm still well ahead of that. In terms of my other goals, we have got the goal to read at least 2 Sapphic books a month, and I read 3, and to read at least 3 BIPOC books a month, and I also read 3. So I'm really happy with those. Obviously the numbers are slightly lower than they have been in previous months, but I also read 4 less books last month than I did in February, so yeah, the numbers are going to be slightly lower. In terms of reducing my physical TBR, so my point at the start of the year, I was on 58, at the end of February, 53, and now at 52. So it only went down by 1, but I'm really happy that it did, because my main goal in March was to focus on my Kindle Unlimited books, because as at this point that I'm filming, I only have like a few days left of Kindle Unlimited before it runs out. So that was definitely what I wanted to prioritise on, and I did really well on that. I think I read 6 books from Kindle Unlimited of the 9, which I'm very, very happy with. So I met my goal and kept on top of this one. The one that I did slightly less well on this month is to finish more series than I start. So at the start of March, I had 34 ongoing series, and I now have 36. Whoops. But overall for the year, we're still trending in the right direction. It started the year on 38, it's currently on 36, so we're taking that win. And I really enjoyed the books that I did read. That was the first book in the series, so very excited to continue those at some point, and to just generally keep reading books that I enjoy, rather than, worrying too much about some other things. So in terms of that change in my physical TBR, obviously I read 1 more than I bought. So I did get a few new books in March. And they were all planned purchases, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I did an order from Ruby Rose website. So she writes Sapphic fantasy romance. So good. So I ordered House of Crimson Hearts, which is her new release from February. I haven't read it yet. I really need to. That's kind of very high on my list to get to. And then while I was on her shop, I got physical copies of the Girl Games books. How beautiful are they? I'm absolutely obsessed with these books. It's a great series, definitely. If you like fantasy romance, the magic system in this is so cool. Definitely check them out. These ones, I think they still are, but these ones definitely were on Kindle Unlimited at the point that I read them. I think they still are. The other one isn't. But I will say as well, I ordered them directly from her website, and the quality is so nice. Like, often, that's upside down. Often if you get like indie books from Amazon, the you know, quality's fine, whereas these, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I think it's book fault maybe that she uses to get her books printed, but yeah, definitely if you're going to buy her books, recommend getting physical copies direct from her. It helps for me, to be fair. She's a UK author, so for once I can actually buy direct from the author and not pay more than the book in postage, which is we like. The other planned purchase book that I had was one that I didn't pre-order but was released last month, and that is The Witch Queen of Halloween by Kresley, the most recent Immortals After Dark book, and I have read it already. It's a novella, this one, but yeah, again, planned purchase, no regrets whatsoever. Really enjoyed it, and it's nice to have kept up to date. This was the first release for this series that I've been able to read as it released because of when I caught up with the series, so very exciting there. And then finally, for anyone who has been watching my videos recently, you may be relieved to hear we have reached the end of the saga. I finally replaced my copy of Mercy. So I have a nice non-crinkled version, and my crinkled version will be making its way to my local little free library because it is perfectly readable. It just made me sad. So there we go. That was my last purchase. So 2 books that I was kind of adding to my physical TBR. And then, yeah, I read 3 physical books in a month. So that took me down by 1 overall. So April releases. This is where I get a bit worried. So apparently every single book in existence is releasing in April. So I have got 4 pre-orders for books that are releasing in April, and there is another book that is releasing in April that I don't have a pre-order for, but I will be reading. So the ones that I have got are Archangel's Lineage by Nalini Singh. Now I can't remember if I'm actually going to get that in April or whether it will be ticking into May by the time it arrives, but that one is releasing this month. That is the new Guild Hunter book. Again, very excited to be able to read that around the time that it releases, because that's not something I've been able to do before. We have then got Highest Bidder. So as you may have seen with Mercy, I am buying the Salacious Players Club books in the new covers, so I'm kind of getting them as they release. So that's the next one of those that will be coming out. There is Truly Madly Deeply by Alexandria Bellefleur. It's an MF queer contemporary romance that I'm very excited for because I love her as an author. I will say though, if you saw my How Tall Is My Physical TBR video, I haven't read the book that I got from her last year, so I should probably work on that. On the same theme, Only in Forever by Chloe Liese, which is Bergman Brothers book 7, is releasing. I definitely won't be reading that this month because I still haven't read book 6. So yeah, I need to work on that because that's going to stress me out, having both of them on my shelves. And then the other release that I haven't pre-ordered is The Succubus's Prize by Cate Robert. That's quite a tongue twister, but I am actually on Cate Robert's Patreon, so I will get a digital copy through there, which I'm very excited for. So that's in her monster romance series, and this one is a sapphic one, and it has a lot of like religious trauma stuff from what I've seen, so I'm really interested in where that one's going to go. So yeah, this makes my reading goals for April kind of interesting. So the big thing that I really want to focus on for April is my arcs. So I have got 5 arcs outstanding on NetGalley, which I know isn't a lot compared to some people, but I'm relatively new to reviewing on NetGalley, so it makes quite a big percentage difference each one. I've got 2 that I've already missed a date for, so while I do still obviously want to read and review those, they aren't like as high priority. I have got 2 that are releasing in May and 1 that is releasing in August. And I would really like to try and read those 3 this month. My intention is as well to do a reading vlog of going through them, just of my experiences, and partly just to keep me accountable to actually reading them. So definitely watch this space and let me know if that is something that you can be interested in. Probably include a bit about like how I write my reviews and where I review and things like that as well. Okay, so the arcs that I have got that I want to get to are The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields, which is a kind of cozy fantasy vibe, I think, and also sapphic. Lavash at First Sight by Taleen Voskuni. I really apologise if I have massacred that. And that is a foodie contemporary romance, also sapphic. And then the one that is releasing in, I think, August, it might be September actually, is Queen of Dreams by Cate Rocha. And that is the second book in a fantasy romance series that I read the first book of last month and absolutely loved. So I'm very excited. But here's where it gets interesting. I have got those 3 arcs that I want to read this month. I also might be getting another arc from Kelly Reynolds because she has got the first book in a new series coming out. And I think I'm on the arc team for that. So very excited. That takes me to 4 books. I am still on Kindle Unlimited for the next few days, and I have got a couple books that I am trying to finish for that. So then I'm suddenly up to about, say, 6 books already. Now, I read 9 books last month, and I have got, 4 physical books arriving this month. So it's going to be a bit of a juggle because I'm not expecting, with the number of books that I am getting through the post this month, to necessarily decrease my physical TBR this month, but I would really like to break even if possible. So yeah, that's where we're at. I really want to get those arcs read because particularly the ones that are due in May, I just want to read them in time to, support those authors, because they are books that, I really want to read, and to feel better about myself as a reviewer, because I hate that I haven't read any arcs for the last couple of months. But I also, for my own sanity, need to make sure that my physical TBR is not getting too far out of control. Particularly as next month is May, and May is my birthday month. And I'm really hoping that some of my family might get me some books for my birthday, which will further extend my physical TBR. So it would be nice to not spiral in April as well as May. But yeah, so in terms of actual which physical books I'm planning to read from the books that I have got pre-ordered, I think Archangel's Lineage I will almost certainly read within 2 weeks of receiving it. Highest Bidder, probably similar, and the others, who knows where we're at. So I don't know, I might try and get to a Lexi Blake book. I didn't read a Lexi Blake book last month, and that's obviously kind of one of my key series that I want to be reading, and I think she's got a new release as well, so I'm going to get further behind if I don't read one. But I'm just going to see, because do you know what, last month I didn't read a single book that I was unhappy with, and I'd like to continue that for this month. So there you go, well, that's where I'm at. All reset for April, with kind of plans, kind of not. I will see you later in the week for my March wrap-up. And yeah, let me know if you've got anything that you're excited to be reading in April, if you have got any kind of April TBR content that I should check out. And I will see you soon. Bye!